Well, 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 look what we have here. 3 posts, not 2, like I'd seen before. Awesome. Hi, it's JP, and I'm here at the Cambridge OnRoute South Ivy charging station, having a look at their upgrade progress. Let's go have a little look-see at what they've done, because it looks good. Now, the last time I was here, this thing was being lifted into place, and there were only 2 posts in the ground, which left me a little bit worried. But now I see that there are in fact 6 posts. I guess they just weren't installing that last one until the cabinet was in place, probably because it would have been in the way otherwise. But this is good. This is kind of what I expected. Let's just go and have a little look at the nameplate on the cabinet. I'm sure it's the same as the other ones. It looks like it's the same cabinet. And to my eye, I still see 400 kilowatts is the max, which makes a lot of sense. So that means that this entire site can deliver a maximum of 400 kilowatts, assuming that the supply can deliver that. As far as I know, this system can't boost beyond that. Maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I know, what that cabinet says is the max is all that can be delivered at any given time. And that's important when you start thinking about what these cables are rated to and what the limit on each connector is at each post. Because the numbers look small if you've got a fast charging vehicle, but if they have limited power, it makes a lot of sense for them to not install higher capacity cables when they have 6 potential vehicles charging at the same time. I'm trying to hide from the wind a little bit here. Now, I think that these stations are going to have the same kind of power limits on each connector as the ones at Innisfil and King City, if you've got the same connector. And if I remember correctly, it was 120 kilowatts on 400 class vehicles and 240 on 800 volt class vehicles. Now, if you've got a really fast charging vehicle, like fast might be the wrong word, like a Taycan, or a monster charging vehicle like a Hummer, those numbers may not sound great, and they're not. But keep in mind that this site only has 400 kilowatts to play with. So you can easily see where even 2,000 volt class vehicles charging on the CCS connectors here would be more than the site power limit. So it doesn't make a lot of sense at a busy highway service center where you can reasonably expect that there's going to be more than one vehicle charging much of the time when any vehicle is charging, that you would bother putting in cables rated for more than 300 amps when you don't have the site power to support it. I know what you're saying is just bring in more site power, but I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they haven't got more site power here. It's probably really, really expensive to do that, or simply not available, which is entirely possible. And so putting in the 300 amp cables, which give you those 120 and 240 volt, 120 and 240 kilowatt limits for each of those connectors, probably makes a lot of sense. So I get it. We all want more power available, but given what they're working with, that 300 amp cable probably is not unreasonable. It's probably a very reasonable thing for them to do. And honestly, a lot of cars can't charge up there anyways. And even those that do, yeah, I know there are some big boy Hummers and Sierras and things like that with ridiculous battery packs that can, but most other vehicles don't hold that kind of power, even if they can get anywhere near it. So if you've only got 400 kilowatts to play with and you've got 6 potential connectors in use at one time, you know, a 300 amp cable is very, very reasonable. So I'm okay with that. More would be better, but this is fine. Now, one of the things that's a bit different at this site than at the King City and Innisfil sites is their choice of connectors on each of these posts. At King City and Innisfil OnRoutes, they've chosen to have 2 NACS connectors, 1 CHAdeMO, and 1 CCS on each post. 1 CCS connector on each post, and NACS, CHAdeMO, NACS. But here it's a little bit different. Here, what they've chosen to do is have 2 CCS connectors here. Let's rove on over to the middle post. CCS and CHAdeMO, and 2 more CCS connectors. So that's interesting. I wonder if there's a Tesla supercharger nearby. Maybe they thought about that. At the King City and Innisfil stations, the time between when the stations appeared to be fully installed, when they were powered up, and when they were online and available for use was really fast, like a couple of weeks. I know, we're all hoping for a couple of days, but it didn't happen. So I'm expecting that these things are going to be online pretty quickly. They seem to have everything else organized, so it seems pretty reasonable. Let's hope. It's JP here at the Cambridge North OnRoute Ivy charger upgrade location. And lo and behold, they've got the new posts in, and I see 3 charging posts with 2 connectors each. Good. What I see here are 4 CCS connectors, 1 CCS connector in the middle with CHAdeMO. So no NACS connectors here. Very interesting. So I made a few videos and I put them up on my channel, and one of the things I realized pretty quickly with the second video was that the people who had seen the first video really had no way of knowing that I put a second video on. And that's because I didn't do what every other YouTube channel does, which is ask the people who view the video to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I don't hate it when people ask for that, but I now understand why people ask for it. Because otherwise, you have no hope of knowing when you, the viewers, have no hope of knowing when there's going to be another video. And if you've made it to the end of this video and you're still interested in this kind of content, you know, maybe you might want to see another video if I go to another charging station that's being upgraded. So I'd ask you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Keep in mind, it's pretty easy to turn that off if you don't want to ever see me again. So I don't think that's a big ask, and I think it's pretty reasonable. So thank you if you do, and thank you if you have made it this far. And you know, write in the comments whether you'd like me to have a look at some other charging stations that are being upgraded. I regularly go past the Trenton stations, which are on the list, and the Port Hope Ivy OnRoute charging station. Also, I've noticed that there's a Flow station being upgraded in Oakville from a standard Flow 50 kilowatt dispenser, actually 2 of them, and apparently a Flow Ultra is going in, and that's in progress. So if you'd like me to go have a look at that, let me know. Thanks. See you later.